So I know people constantly complain about filler in shonen anime, and while I do feel like it is justified some of the time, I'm gonna say that watching Dragon Ball Kai again, boy, you miss a lot when you actually cut out the filler from it. Yeah, at least specifically the filler going into the Saiyans' arrival, because I was watching it more with Taylor last night. Episodes 5 to 6, I thought we missed an episode. Nah, it just cuts the 6 months of training Gohan did going into the Saiyan saga. I'm like, okay. That's kind of wild. I figured it meant that we can just go ahead and mix things up and open with that. All right, what's up, boys? Bob here. Welcome to more Let's Play Dragon Ball Z Attack of the Saiyans. This is not being posted to YouTube yet. Yeah, God, I cannot talk right now. Sorry, early morning. I'm still getting the gears going. But, yeah, so the Let's Play hasn't been started posting to YouTube yet, so I'm not going to get feedback on the wallpapers or layout just yet, but I will say, yes, you're not imagining it. There is a change in the background I'm using for this one. I've actually used this background before for PSP games in the past because, yeah, recording a 272 screen, putting it up to a 720 screen, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna need to put something in the background because this is not fitting full screen whatsoever, or is it gonna look good? So I mixed things up with this one a little bit. I'm still receptive to feedback. I'm still kind of working out the kinks of this, but you know how it be. Anyway, so last time, Goku died, Gohan's abducted, Saiyans arriving to come absolutely annihilate the Earth, turning into literally a glorified parking lot and insult to high spitter. So, you know, good times happen all. Now, that being said, though, what I have before you is actually something very unusual, I will definitely say. Now, I've been talking so far that this game has some fairly deep cuts, like content that you never see in any other Dragon Ball game, like Chi-Chi from Dragon Ball. We have a lot of like really cool dialogue that never makes appearances, Dragon Ball content in general. But that being said, this is where things are going to start getting very deep cut-ish, I guess, for lack of a better term. So first of all, we're playing Kid Gohan, as you can probably tell. Now, what's interesting though is that we can get into combat right now. Eventually, I'm pretty sure we can. Next screen. Oh, you know what? Yeah, we might actually go to the next cutscene. But I will say, we get some very rare Gohans in this game. Chief among them being two. Usually when it comes to Kid Gohan, we're relegated just to the purple gi he has when they fight Nappa and Vegeta, which, you know, fair enough. But there's a couple other looks that never really make the rounds, and we will see them post-haste. Alright, this is going to be very funny. Also, one thing I do want to mention is this game is actually kind of interesting because not only is it published, one of the first Dragon Ball games published under Namco's banner and not Atari's, it's also the very first one done so. That literally means that this is the very first Dragon Ball game released under Namco Bandai's label. Well, more specifically Bandai. They hadn't done a merger just yet fully. I'm not kidding. According to my notes, this game dropped in what, November 2009? And the merger the acquisition was actually in July of 2009. So in theory, if we had delayed a few more months, theoretically this could have released in America under Atari's banner. And boy, doesn't that fill you with warm thoughts, huh? The idea that maybe, possibly, this could have gotten a sequel. Maybe. Because again, historically, Atari has proven to be fairly flexible and okay with taking risks in order to get profitable sequels, like they did with Budokai 3 and BT3. Yeah, it's pretty good stuff. But nah, actually it's very interesting. So I think this game actually released under a different label in Japan because I think it was still released underneath. Yeah, I think it was released under Atari's name because I think it dropped in what, February 2009? I might be wrong about that. Let me check my notes really fast, actually. Hold up a sec. Because I remember the localization took a while. April 2009. Okay, yeah. Damn. Imagine what we could have had with that. Alright, so, you know what's also very funny? So, between going through this game and having to actually start and inspiring me to start watching Kai again, as well as revisiting Totally Not Mark's review of Dragon Ball Z Saiyan Saga, it's really occurring to me that, yeah, this show is actually kind of brilliant with the subtext, you know what I mean? Like, Dragon Ball's got a reputation of being the haha punchy combat anime with no story or a very shallow story. Nah, dude, I'm gonna say, Akira Toriyama continues to blow my mind with how he ad-libs a lot of shit, like almost everything. At least going into the DBZ, he ad-libs almost everything. And he just accidentally puts together some of the best story progression for characters you've ever seen in your life. Kind of wild, isn't it? Anyway, so... oh boy, yeah. We were talking about deep cuts earlier. Look at this. Look at this. This is Gohan literally when he's first taken in by Piccolo and has to take off the tunic and is just a muscle shirt underneath. Oh my god, this is... We will never see this Gohan be playable ever again, I assure you, and that annoys me because this is so fucking cool. Anyway, so Gohan, yay. Now, gonna be honest here. At the start of the gate, I'm sorry, at the start of the gate. God, I cannot talk, I should have waited for later. Out the gate, Kid Gohan absolutely blows ass. You can see it kind of with his stats, also 290 HP, level 1, 95 ki. Not really inspiring a lot there, huh? Especially when we get to his stats later on. Gohan, if you're familiar at all with Fire Emblem, Kid Gohan is essentially the Fire Emblem Villager class. If you don't know what that means that out the gate, the stat growths are dog shit. But you get to start a point in the game and they become the best unit. I am not really kidding about that. The reward you get for putting the work into them is actually astronomical. But we gotta get there first. And unfortunately with Gohan, we have a little bit of work ahead of us. Luckily though, the enemies at the start of the game are kind of tailored to Gohan's literally middling stats, so not gonna be too big a deal. There we go. As long as you nail your guard at the start of the game, you should be okay with Gohan for a bit. That being said, though, it's gonna take a bit. Yeah, you still regen, you still do damage, and there we go. Yeah, literally completely average across the board. This is actually very funny. Now, there's two different kinds of Gohans you want to run. At the start of the game, this is more recommended. You want to start him more defensive, and then later in the game, you want to build him more towards offense because these +1s across the board are going to... Power is going to go up to +3, and everything else besides, I think, tech or luck is +2. Actually, no. I think that might also be +2, actually. Yeah, Gohan's going to explode at exactly level 35, but until then, we gotta keep the squirt alive. Alright, so that being said, though, for the time being, we gotta be very careful. This is why I say you gotta lean on a darkness card, because it will literally get you free games. Excuse me, hang on. Okay. Actually, yeah, I was, not even before popping in his review again, I was just kind of jotting down my own notes for, like, this is how you can tell I might have notes to talk about for, that I could dig up for trivia or behind the scenes stuff for Attack on Saiyans or a game in general. Because I got started to talk about the story again. First of all, I feel like we don't really revisit the Saiyan Saga enough, or at least like not a lot of people do so, because after having watched a good half of Dragon Ball roughly, more like a third, you walk into the Saiyan Saga and you have such a different perspective. Like I can never look at Piccolo here, or I don't have to refer to him as Junior anymore because of the tournament now. Piccolo here, I can never look at as a villain, but I do further appreciate his character arc going into the Saiyan Saga in general, because it's so good. Like, legitimately. It's like Vegeta, but actually done better. And that's wild, because Vegeta is one of the best written characters in the show, depending on the day of the week. If your name is Super, especially in the Res F and Battle of Gods arc, one of the worst characters, but you know how it be. And no, not because of Bingo, that's very funny. No, because the animosity with Goku is completely resurrected with Vegeta. So it's like, boy, we just can't let that go, huh? Awesome. Resent your fate, it's what I do. Yeah, there's also a huge... I didn't even write this in my notes. The expectations placed upon our sons, because, yeah, Gohan has huge weights put on him because of the expectations of him living up to Goku's legacy. Piccolo's got that same kind of thing with King Piccolo and wanting to take over the Earth, or at least that's expected of him from his dad, quote unquote. It's really difficult to talk about what King Piccolo is to Piccolo Jr. Like, clone, son, I don't know. It's really weird to talk about. I was trying to explain it to Taylor last night, and I just could not actually do it justice. The best way I could put it to Taylor was like Boba Fett and Jango Fett. You know what I mean? He's still evil, yes, but I think that cunning viciousness of his heart is starting to fade away. Okay, again, you can literally see that as soon as the 23rd tournament, because Piccolo didn't have to play by the rules of the tournament. He could have just tried to murder Piccolo or murder Goku right out the gate. And he did save that kid, like, who was going to be crushed by that falling clock on him before it started. Again, there's already the seeds of being planted of him not being nearly as evil as his dad was. Oh, yeah, also, detail. It's brought up here. It's not brought up in the anime. Old detail from Dragon Ball. If you're killed by a demon, you don't go to the afterlife. You get launched into like some weird purgatory thing. That didn't happen to Goku or Raditz, because Raditz went straight to the other world, I guess. This game's got really cool details across the board. And he's likely to notice that he, and therefore I, only have a year less to live. It's very cool describing to Taylor the stalemate that is with Piccolo and Kami, because if Piccolo dies, you lose Dragon Balls. So Goku literally cannot afford to kill Piccolo at all. You just gotta love how he knows he's got such limited time left, even though he will later be revived anyway. Excuse me. Maybe... I don't know if the Saiyan Saga was originally drafted up to be the clear end of Dragon Ball. I know we go around, we do this round robin discussion of, you know, even that thing is the son of his own nemesis. Oh, I'll talk about that in a bit. There's this round robin discussion of like, where would Dragon Ball have been slotted to end? Because obviously we know it was probably not intended to go all the way up to Boo, because you could tell with the character rewrites, like with Yamcha and stuff, as well as like the obvious endpoints that just kind of present themselves. I'm not entirely sure if the Saiyan Saga was supposed to be the endpoint, because you have so many characters die off. You lose the Dragon Balls. Goku comes back and beats off the invaders. I don't know. It's hard to really describe one way or the other, or surmise. I think the Namek Saga is a much more conclusive end to Dragon Ball, as well as the Cell Saga, but, you know, it's whatever. I'll talk more about that in a minute. Alright, so at the gate here, I'm actually going to recommend you boost Gohan's attack stat more, because it's going to get you some more free wins using Rush before he actually gets any beams. For the time being, Kid Gohan has no beams, no Ki Blast at all, or skills. You're kind of really beholden to just doing like one move with him for a while. Also, hello T-Rex that chases him around. Again, the guys were talking about this on Team 4-Star. Yeah, it's amazing Gohan turned out as well adjusted as he did after the fact. It's kind of funny. Cornered. Oh no, what will I do? Magic powers, go! You know, it's funny. The way that this is portrayed, like in the anime, it's almost like the endorphins firing off in Baki's head in the original anime. It's actually very funny. If you don't know what I'm talking about, yeah, fair play. Only I have watched the 2003 anime. And I've been all the way to completion. Maybe others have watched Baki. Does anyone else watch Baki? I don't know if I'm the only one or not. Anyway, now Gohan is the stuck. Which, I mean... yeah, it's a fairly steep cliff if I ever saw one. Or you could probably slide your way down if you're very careful, but... yeah, no, that's a near vertical cliff. Ugh. And the realization kicks... oh yeah, the apples. This is still very cute. Apples, they just fell off nowhere. Boy, am I lucky. Yeah, he even pieced it together like, wait, where the hell does the apples come from? There's no apple tree around here. And there's nothing else around here at all. Where did they go? And the punchline... blah, they're sour. Oh, come on. Dude, ripe apples are fucking delicious. Come on. And the cool Uncle Piccolo is just like, damn it, no. Stop making me waste all this time. This is the last time I'm landing it in my hand. Last time, he says. Yeah, that's definitely gonna stick. Yeah, sour apples fucking rule, dude. Jesus. If you can't survive after this, then you aren't strong enough to cut it, period. Well, he's kind of stuck on a cliff. I would probably throw him a mulligan, possibly. Another day passes, and... Huh. And then Piccolo literally remarks when he says that, if you're hungry enough, you'll find a way down. Because of the powers and everything. Another fun detail. Huh, why is it still bright? Funny detail, yeah. So, very cute detail. I think it's glossed. No, it's not talked about in this game, but very specifically, even though they didn't cut his tail off for some reason. Imagine Gohan going to high school with, that would be a hard task for anyone involved, honestly. Also, he's 4 years old. I'll give him some credit. Now, funny detail is that he's never allowed to actually go outside at night, especially on nights of a full moon. So, yeah, as a result, the Uzaro never makes an appearance beforehand for Gohan. Boom! No, you don't fight this thing. Be kind of funny if you did, but no. Piccolo never engages with this one. There is filler, which is interesting because I don't remember if Piccolo gets more involved with that one, where Goku's space pod was still around and it was projecting the moon into the sky, which I like to note is kind of a walking plot hole, considering the moon has to reflect the sun's rays and that turns them into blood waves. Yeah. I'm not even making this up. This is literally explained in the game too. So anyway, I have a question, guys. When did the moon get brought back? This is an actual question because Master Roshi blew up the moon the first time in the 21st World Tournament. But where the hell did it come back from? I actually don't know. And or did I transform like that? It's gotta be the secret behind him and Goku's strength. Well, it's not really a secret per se. Yeah, definitely the right move, that's for sure. Kami brought it back after getting rid of Goku's tail. Is that true? Huh. Okay, well, I guess it's good to know that Kami can do that. You know, you want to talk about the ramifications of blowing up the moon? What happens if you do it twice? Like, the carnage that would wreak is actually kind of funny. And removes the tail because he also knows his weakness too. And just got a little pixelated boy butt now, I guess. Kind of funny. One thing I'm also appreciative that Kai does is remove all the little boy penis that gets displayed. If you don't know what I'm talking about, and it sounds weird out of context, go back and watch old Dragon Ball. Literally, the intro for Dragon Ball, or at least one of the intros, was like GT, that was it. Fucking GT. You see Goku's like full on cock and balls as a kid in the intro. I'm like, whoa, okay, I can't watch this on my laptop at work. Jesus Christ. As well as the amount of times you see it in Dragon Ball 2, it's like, yeah, that was just kind of seen as a punchline back in the 80s with Toriyama. Okay, weird. You'll wish you were dead, believe me. Clearly. I'm going to make you to the greatest demon there ever was. He is so cute. Piccolo, I mean. Because he's still trying to put the tough guy bravado. Alright, but now it's time to progress. And that being said, though, we got some marginal filler to get through. Well, okay, we got this to go through first, which, you all know this punchline. I was giggling a good amount. God, I don't like this Bulma look. Taylor also is not a fan of it, so you guys have affirmation on that front. Well, I guess while we're talking about this, what to talk about? Because we all know how this shebang goes. There's not much in the way of new dialogue. Alright, let me see here. Yeah, I was just going through some general analysis off the top of my head for Dragon Ball Z, or the Saiyan Saga at least, and there's a lot of good stuff, man. Like, alright, I'll just go run down my notes. Nature versus nurture, which is a clear obvious one because Goku doesn't have the Saiyans way of thinking with just being destructive. He actually lives his own life and wants to be peaceful. So, the nurturing overcomes your nature by birth. Like, it's a really good message, actually. Like, your race, creed, they don't have to mean shit for who you are as a person. You know what? Really good. Coming of age. This is a fun one. Yeah, Gohan being a sheltered kid in a fish out of water scenario until it becomes stronger to hold back even Vegeta. That's good stuff. Like, you actually had the good early beats of that story, so that's really good. There's multiple character arcs throughout, Vegeta's introduction. Piccolo's arc reaches one of its huge climaxes, and then we have Gohan starting his journey up to the Cell Saga. Yes, I say up to the Cell Saga, we're not counting Buu in this equation, because go figure. God, and one other thing that's really cool too. The Scouters, despite power levels really gripping the community and actually kind of undermining the lesson that was supposed to provide, is that Scouters actually serve two functions. They serve to immediately tell you, or like it's a creative way to show you how strong the Saiyans actually are. It's also really cool because it feeds some other ideas, and also it's funny to see how the Saiyans are repeatedly shocked at how the Z-Fires can make themselves stronger. I'm doing a horrible job trying to narrate right now. Goddamn. Hang on.